Alright. How are we doing today, stream? Might just reduce the music a little bit. How are y'all doing today? A little bit early again. Later than when I said earlier than normal. So this will probably be a bit of a shorter stream. And then I'll come back after lunch and everything and we can do a bit more. So it might be a good time to get the news out of the way. And then we'll do a bit of FF7, I think. But, I'm making a note for myself for 1 second. Alright, so here we go. This is the news for April 13th, 2020. So this is a backlog of about 3 days worth. We're starting to get into the point in like April's now sort of winding up, getting a bit less news. So yeah, we hopefully get a consistent amount, even though it will slow down to continue doing the news, but I might just make more breaks. Also, happy Easter for everyone that I haven't spoken to since yesterday. You'll notice that I am not quite myself today. I've been bunnyified, so hope you like the new avatar. Probably will return to my Palico self soon enough, but yeah. Am been transformed for Easter. So, let's get into the news. Let's go from the back to front. So, in a new job listing, we've noted some work that is related to cross-gen programming and things, and development. So this is for Dead Island 2. I liked Dead Island 1. I never completed it. I had a blast with friends. We actually replayed the start multiple times, but probably got about halfway each time, and then we just sort of fell off. But I think that was a timing thing more than anything. But yeah, I've been waiting for Dead Island 2 for a while. I think that game has a lot of potential. So if it's got crossplay, that will actually add a decent amount of longevity and playability for various people. So I have a little bit of hope on that. Moving on, we have Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima has a release date, a plot, and more details. So I'm going to open the article for this one. Hopefully it lets me. Sometimes I get yelled at by the internet. Looks like we're fine. Alright, so the big news is we actually have an official date now advised, which is June 26, 2020. I am excited for that. This is probably the big game of the year for me. Well, I take that back. There is a lot of games for the year for me, but I do like myself a good traditional samurai game, and this one looks like it's going to be a lot more story focused. So hopefully the combat's good. Ghost of Tsushima is made by the team who made Sucker Punch, so it's made by the people who made Infamous, all those games. They've done. Hang on, let's look at their later game, because there's a later game that everyone probably would know. Oh no, it is just Infamous. Okay, I'm totally wrong. I'm fairly sure there was... I thought someone else was related to this game. But, maybe I'm wrong. Let's have a look-see. Oh no, it's just Sony with Sucker Punch. But yeah, Infamous... I played Infamous way back in the day. I'm not really a Sly Cooper fan, but, yeah. It looks amazing. If you haven't seen it, it's got Square Enix money. Not Square Enix, sorry. Sony Entertainment money. Like, it looks cash money. So, expect this to be a big game. It's been delayed already twice. At least twice. And it's going to be hopefully a AAA game that people will remember. But as a Western development game for historical Japan, it sounds like they've got the right sources. It seems like they're doing the right thing. It's set during a particular period in Japan. Well, I mean, actually, they got it here. It was when Japan was invaded by the Mughals, and led by Khotan Khan, and so it is very, very early in comparison to a lot of stuff we see related to samurai. Like, we're going to see samurai that aren't using guns. We're not going to see samurai that are like really using mini blast powders and things like that. Hey, Armin. That's alright, I'm a little late too. But yeah, so I expect a lot more of a traditional game, a lot more focus on being a samurai. Like, they are the idea of the samurai. But I won't read that. There's plot spoilers there, so I'm gonna not read that. I kind of want to go into that game a bit blind. Alright. Next we have Playtonic talking about not working on a new Banjo-Kazooie game. So there were a rumor mill about Playtonic after completing Ukulele that Rare had reached out to them to start working on a Banjo-Kazooie game, especially when we saw some more stuff related to Banjo due to Smash and a few other things. But they've come out and they said that they're not working on a new game. We don't know if that means that there is another game coming about for Banjo. It is owned by Microsoft now, so they can do whatever they want with it, but this sort of puts an end to that rumor, and yeah. Alright, moving on. So this one's a bit more, I guess. Everyone probably would have predicted this. It's not just Twitter, it's everywhere. Like, Animal Crossing is one of the biggest selling games this year by far. And it is being talked about everywhere. It's the cultural relevance that is Animal Crossing this year will have some staying power. People will remember Animal Crossing now. It's made its mark. So that's good to see that people are taking notice. Moving on to a related topic is FF7. Again, something that people probably realize. These things are good to be reported, but some people, if you're aware of what's happening in the games industry, stuff is just, you know. Like, so Final 77 Remake is marked as #1 as boxed market grows again. This is for UK's charts, but we've also seen the same in Japan, in various regions. So it is likely that 7 may be the best selling game of the year. Still early days, we'll see. But there's a lot of titles coming out this year. Yeah, and here's a breakdown, just for a little quick break-in for people. Wow, I didn't realize Call of Duty actually outsold Animal Crossing. But never really a surprise when it comes to Call of Duty and FIFA. Mario Party's still selling very well. Mario Kart's selling very well still. Wow, RE didn't do the best. But this is UK sales, of course. This isn't global. I'll probably talk about global sales later in the year when it's a bit more refined. Alright, next one. This is the big rumor I woke up to this morning. RE4 Remake is in development by M2. I'm not quite sure who M2 is. I'll have a look at that in a moment. But now that RE2 and 3's remakes have completed, it's seeming like they want to continue moving and they want to make RE4 as a remake. Again, I have no connection to RE outside of being a viewer of the games. Like, I've seen other people play them, I've watched playthroughs, all that sort of stuff. But it looks like this one has hit a nerve with people. I was sort of surprised that RE3 remake happened. I personally didn't think that one needed to happen. RE2 did extremely well. There was a lot of love there. RE3 seeming to not receive as much as... It's receiving some criticism. And then RE4, I've seen a lot of people take to the internet and not be happy about this. Especially since a HD version of RE4 did come out and people were happy with what that was. Whereas this, it seems to be... People don't really want this to be remade. Fans seem to be hates this idea. But this will be made alongside RE8. So we might see some mechanics from RE8 make it into 4 or vice versa. We don't know if they're going to end up changing the game because, well, if you look at RE2 and RE3, they did change quite a lot about that stuff. So, I still early days. I guess wait till trailers before you jump on your soapbox about getting too angry. But yeah, let's have a quick look at M2. I'm not 100% sure who this is. Oops. So it looks like they do a lot of smaller projects. They look like a smaller developer that does a lot of like conversions and ports and things like that. They're a jack of all trades company. I don't think that they have any here that I can list that looks like major titles that people will be aware of. But yeah, I think it's just a very small Japanese developer that's being given an opportunity here. If I'm wrong, let me know. I can't see anything here that I think I recognize. Alright, moving on. Pokemon Sword and Shield players who intentionally disconnect may be permanently banned. So, I've talked about this before. Nintendo and their online practices and Pokemon Company being sort of a same mentality. This sounds like this is going to end poorly. It sounds like they're going to have to roll back stuff if they implement it wrong. But yeah, it seems like this could be a risky gambit. Yeah, so likely rage quitters are probably going to be the primary target for this. But with how kids play video games, with how Wi-Fi and stuff is... 1 second. Sorry about that. So with... Ow, just banged my knee. So with the way that online usually goes, you can't have these definitives. You can't be like, oh, you're just going to straight up get a ban. Usually repeat offenders should be working toward, like, it should be working towards that. But it seems like according to the company, there'll be strict monitoring of usage of the exploit for now. It looks like there was disconnects being used. I don't know. I've seen this come up about quite a few times with video games. usually they bring out things like this and then they roll it back because people just start getting angry. People start having issues where it's false positives all over the place. But we'll see. It's really hard to tell until they implement systems like this, whether or not it's too aggressive or not aggressive enough or whatever it may be. Alright, so this one's a one for me. Final Fantasy 14's The Primals, the band who does a lot of the music for boss fights in FF14, are releasing their new album, Out of Shadows, which will be tied to the latest game. And it will have a lot of boss themes. May even have some boss themes we haven't heard yet. I kind of doubt that. But it'll be on the Square Enix store, which means it'll probably appear on digital stores at some point, so you can probably listen to it on Spotify and things like that. Very, very good music. They're amazing performers. I suggest people check them out. This one was a bit of a funny piece of news. Animal Crossing New Horizons pulled from online stores in China. So, this isn't the first time we've seen this, and it won't be the last. China is notable for restrictions on freedom of speech and custom content, which, if you've played Animal Crossing and you know that you can make custom prints and you put them around, you will see things that, like example, if I went to someone's town, I could see some stuff that could get me banned from streaming, sort of thing. But in this case, it seems to be they're targeting particular messages. So vocal activists from Free Hong Kong's movement seemingly has been appearing a lot in China's version of Animal Crossing. People just putting their rooms out there, and they do not like that being a message going around. So they've, instead of getting it restricted, they're just pulling it down. That's an extremely common occurrence with games, unfortunately, with China. But yeah, last piece of news. This one's mostly, again, for me and other people interested. Neo 2 had their patch update. This one actually was a nerf patch. It looked like it didn't do as much damage as people thought it would do for particular things. Some things got buffed, some things got nerfed. Some key points are like the yokai ability for the snake boss got nerfed. It's almost unusable now. You have the big one is bare-handed style got nerfed because of a couple of particular cores. Got the name of which core it was, but basically the nerf now makes it so you probably won't be able to one-shot bosses, and the build probably just won't work, period. And the one that everyone expected to get a bit of nerf, or heavy nerf, was the final boss's ability. It didn't really. He's still pretty good. He's still probably going to be the main one everyone uses. But a few tweaks here and there. Other than that, not an insane amount. But we might see... It means that we probably will see some patches in the coming months or so to adjust more stuff. So don't get too comfortable with your builds. Don't build up and then expect that that's just going to be you forever, because it might change. Alright. And I think that's all the news for today. Yeah, it is the... We're approaching the middle of April. News starts to slow down a little bit now. That sort of prime 2 weeks of April is starting to wind up. Generally, this is meant to be leading into the middle of the year. We're heading towards E3 and everything like that. And big announcements start to head there, but considering E3 is not a thing this year, we might see a more spread out of the news. Hard to say, but if the news starts slowing down, I might do less and less news segments. Maybe like once a week or something. I don't know. We'll see. I'm a little blinky today. The sun's a bit out today, so might be a little bit more blinky. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I might play about an hour of Final Fantasy, and then I'll go get lunch, and then I'll come back for some Animal Crossing. So I might switch over now, and I will be back soon.